His professional record is 17 wins, 3 defeats. Here is Andrew Brewer. And in the red corner, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 165 pounds, he is rated number 6 in the world. His record is 20 wins and 3 defeats. Here is Robert Biggs. 9 rounds of kickboxing.
Biggs and Brewer. Biggs 32 years old, a little bit older, some say, to be in this racket.
Gentlemen, let's have a good clean match. When I say break, but protect yourself in the ring at all times. In the event of a knockdown, I'd like the other fighter to go to a neutral corner and remain there until I bring you out. Good luck to both of you, gentlemen. We'll begin the match with a traditional karate bow. So take a few steps back, and we'll begin.
That's Robert Biggs and Andrew Brewer. Let's pick up the action with round 1.
Bout.
And here's Joe Boyle.
All right, John, thank you very much. Robert Biggs, Andrew Brewer. Brewer in the darker trousers. They're a silver gray, and Biggs in the white trousers. Biggs the more experienced, and we talked to Andrew Brewer, George Minshew, and he says he's noted that Biggs is a slow starter, and he hopes to get off early on him.
Yeah, he said to me that he felt like his main advantage was going to be that he's faster than Biggs because he's younger. He's 24 years old, and as you said earlier, Biggs is 32.
And Biggs has had some back problems in the past. For a while, they feared that they might have to perform surgery on him, but through therapy, he had not had to undergo the surgery, has had a couple of tune-out bouts since he recovered, and hopes that he's back at full strength. Biggs rated 6th in the world and Brewer 9th. Biggs in the white and Brewer in the darker or gray trousers with the black stripe. Feeling out process here in the first round. Biggs with the straight kicks, using the legs right now to more advantage than is Brewer. Brewer with a couple of short, straight, powerful left jabs, both of which got through the guard of Biggs. Brewer, straight up fighter. Both of them really are straight stand-up fighters. Brewer got a left hook in, but it came in around the neck area of Biggs and didn't do any damage. There's that left hook again. Brewer really watches the eyes of Biggs, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Fighters have various ways of picking up what they think an opponent's going to do. Some of them like to watch feet. Other ones will watch eyes and hands. George, you always used to watch the referee, didn't you?
I used to watch everything I could.
Say help.
Break!
Brewer hitting on the break.
Keep those hands off.
Go. And he received a warning for it. He held and hit on the break.
Break!
There's the bell to end round 1.
So during that first round, we saw Brewer really picking up the pace, the guy setting the pace of the fight. And is it in fact true what he alleged about his opponent, Robert Biggs, George Minshew, that Biggs is a slow starter?
Yeah, it is. I've seen Robert Biggs fight several times. He's a very intelligent fellow. I spoke with him this afternoon. Matter of fact, he has a degree in English, and he's a thinking fighter. He measures and paces himself very, very well.
Can a guy just tell himself, I have to shake that slow starter thing, I have to pick up the pace and get in the fight?
Well, I think they could if they wanted to. Robert Biggs doesn't particularly think that's a disadvantage starting slow.
That was a slow round.
Second down.
Round number 2. As Robert Biggs in white and Andrew Brewer in the silver gray trousers battle it out for the U.S. Super Middleweight title. Here is Budweiser presents Kickboxing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Biggs picking up the tempo a little bit here in round number 2. Brewer went to the left hook and missed. Overhand right by Biggs, and then he goes downstairs and goes to work in the midsection. This is a 9-round bout, and those body blows can tell later on. U.S. Championship fights are 9 rounds. World Championship bouts 12 rounds. Biggs in the white and Brewer in the silver gray, with the stripes down the side. Biggs has been the more aggressive George Minshew as far as the kicking portion of kickboxing goes.
Yeah, he has. He measures himself, as I said earlier, constantly throughout the round. As a matter of fact, Bob Biggs is one of the few fighters that has ever gone the distance with Bill Wallace. He fought Bill Wallace in what was...
They had an excellent fight, didn't they?
Oh, it was incredible. It was Bill Wallace's retirement fight, and Biggs lost that match on a decision by only 2 points.
Pretty good left hook that time by Brewer. Gets home. Now Biggs right back, drives Brewer into the ropes just above it. Now goes to work in the midsection again, and Brewer trying to fight his way off the ropes. Biggs continues to dig that right hand home. Brewer scores with a couple of rights downstairs himself. Brewer, it would appear, has a slight reach advantage on Biggs.
He is a measuring fighter. You know, you made a comment earlier about his eyes and how he keeps them fixed on the fighter. Even in the fighter's instructions, he had a deadly glare on Biggs.
Round number 2 drawing to a close here in Las Vegas as they battle it out for the U.S. Super Middleweight title. Round number 3, Robert Biggs in white, Andrew Brewer in the gray trousers with the black stripe as Budweiser presents Kickboxing from Las Vegas. And Brewer had Biggs in trouble at the end of round number 2. Brewer with a very confident expression on his face right now. He has used the left hand to his utmost advantage, and there's another good left hook that scores on the face of Robert Biggs. Biggs has been content for the most part to work the body over, and as George Minshew points out, that's something that can tell. Oh, a good right hand by Biggs, and he's got Brewer in trouble along the near rope. Brewer appears to be clear-eyed, however. Best punch of the fight by Robert Biggs. Good solid right hand. Brewer appears clear-eyed. Brewer trying to fight his way back. Biggs hammers right to the midsection as he drives Brewer into the ropes again, and Brewer receives another warning for holding the back of the head and hitting. Now Biggs moving in. He's got Brewer in trouble. Lands a left and a right, takes a left to the midsection. A right. Brewer continues to try to fight his way off the ropes, but Biggs has got him in big trouble across the ring in the far corner. Biggs continues to dig to the body. Now a straight kick to the stomach. And the referee warns Biggs to get the kicks up. He appeared to be right on the waistline with it. Brewer missed the kick, and Biggs got home a straight left of his own. Left to the midsection as he continues to work the body, and he brings Brewer's head up with a right uppercut. Another right uppercut as Biggs continues to work that body over. Now Brewer comes fighting off the ropes. Left-right combination by Biggs. Boy, I'll tell you, those punches have everything behind them when both Brewer and Biggs throw them. Neither one of them arm punchers. They get the body behind every punch. As we wind down here in round 3, it's been a big, big round for Robert Biggs after Brewer had a big round in round 2.
You cannot ask for any more action than we have just seen in the past 2 minutes. However, the best of it appeared to be over on the side of Robert Biggs. A very efficient puncher with the short stuff, with the uppercuts to the body. Looked like he had everything his own way most of the going.
Yeah, if we can catch this overhand right there by Biggs, he really hurt him and started working on the body immediately. Now, one of the things that surprised me when this happened was that Brewer came back and seemed to be unhurt. But later in the round, I noticed that he kept closing his eyes when the hand techniques came in. I think he hurt him more than it appeared.
And both fighters have forsaken the kicks, at least during the last couple of rounds of this fight, and gone with their fists.
So much for Robert Biggs being a slow starter as we go to round number 4. Big round for Robert Biggs in round 3. Pretty even fight thus far as Brewer gets a good roundhouse kick home and follows it up with a right-left combination. Trying to drive Biggs to the ropes, but Biggs fights his way off. Back out to the center of the ring. Good action here in this U.S. Super Middleweight bout between Andrew Brewer and Robert Biggs as they battle for the U.S. Championship.
Break clean. Break.
All right, one of the things I think is important here in Brewer's corner, he has Frank Lehman, who happens to be working with Tom Latuli out of Chicago, and both of these guys are KICK Midwest directors. They schedule so many events. I think they've got something like 14 events scheduled in the Chicago area in the next year. This gives Brewer an incredible amount of talent to work with.
Biggs coming on strong again here in round 4, drives Brewer into the near corner. trying to get inside and work the midsection again. Now he goes upstairs with a good right hand, and Brewer comes off the ropes with a right and a left. Now drives 3 straight left hands home. And Biggs fights his way off the rope with right and left uppercuts. Another right uppercut, a left to the midsection. Missed with a right, Brewer back with a right. A right uppercut by Biggs. Another right by Biggs, and Brewer is wobbling in the middle of the ring. Biggs has him against the ropes, measures him, right to the head. A left, a right, blocked by Brewer. A right uppercut, a right to the head by Biggs. He works it over the referee steps. Then he'll give him a standing 8 count right here. Robert Biggs with a ferocious attack.
Are you all right? 7, 8.
Referee asks him if he's all right. Brewer says yes. They'll go at it again. Another big right uppercut by Biggs, and Brewer now has the mouthpiece come out. Now Biggs is bleeding. Biggs bleeding around the nose as Brewer trying to fight back. Oh, a vicious right uppercut by Biggs drives Brewer into the ropes. He hammers him with rights and lefts. Brewer may be fighting himself out. He looks tired all of a sudden. A miss by Brewer, and that is the bell for the end of round number 4. Great action here in Las Vegas. Robert Biggs comes out, sensing the kill, gets the straight leg kick into the midsection of Brewer. Biggs measuring his hand, a good left hand by Brewer, snaps Biggs' head back. Somewhere in that exchange, Biggs was able to draw blood, or rather Brewer was able to draw blood around the nose area of Robert Biggs. His cornerman seemed to have patched it up. Biggs trying to measure his man now, moving in on Brewer. Brewer trying to hold him off with that left hand, and George Minshew, the longer Brewer can hold him off, the longer he's got to recuperate.
That's right. An incredible turning back kick. Obviously, Brewer got some very good advice from his corner and said to use this reach and keep Biggs from getting him tied up.
I agree with John. The beating that Brewer took in that corner, it was amazing. The recuperative powers of the young man, and now Biggs with a right cross to the head. Nails Brewer. Now digs an uppercut to the chest area of Brewer. Biggs just continues to work in. You talked about the big fight he had earlier. He is performing very, very well. Bill Wallace was a legend in kickboxing, and I can understand why this man could be. And again, Biggs comes on as he drives Brewer into the ropes. Brewer trying to fight his way off the ropes, digs an uppercut to the body of Biggs. Brewer with a swelling now around the left eye.
I think one of the important things about Robert Biggs is that he is such a soft-spoken, mannered fellow that people sometimes, when they have an opportunity to see fighters or talk to them, they're going to shortchange Robert Biggs. But inside that square, he's incredible.
Biggs continuing to measure Brewer, gets the left home, tries to follow it up with a right. Now 8, knocks Brewer into the rope, he is down. Down. Just seconds left in the round. Brewer trying to get up. 7, 8, 9, 10. It is all over. Robert Biggs is the U.S. Super Middleweight Champion as he scores the knockout. Just as time was about to run out in the round, Biggs caught him with a left-right combination and then a solid right to the head, sent Brewer into the ropes. He went to the canvas and could not beat the count. The round had officially ended, but he could not be saved by the bell. The count continues past the end of the round, so the winner by a knockout at what actually turns out to be 2:05 of the round is Robert Biggs, and he is the U.S. Super Middleweight Champion.
Yeah, let's watch this action now as Biggs measures him and sets him up for that overhand right. Now here he comes, and that's what's been effective with him for him all throughout this fight. And it finally Brewer went down. The guy is incredibly tough. He took a lot of punishment.
He really did, and gave him excellent accounting of himself. But Biggs, with that tremendous body attack in the last 2 rounds, came upstairs and finished him off. Let's go to the ring for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 5 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by a knockout and new U.S. Super Middleweight Kickboxing Champion, Robert Biggs.
And we'll be back to interview a victorious Robert Biggs, the United States Super Middleweight Champion, right after this message from your local sponsor. Protect
A
yourself.
sensational fight. A couple of times, the standing eight, it looked like Brewer should have been stopped out of the fight. The referee might have stopped it. He didn't do it. How did you feel about that?
Well, I really thought that at that time it should have been stopped because the end result was the other way, you know, and so maybe. But then again, Andy's real strong and he came back hard, so maybe, you know, you just can't ever tell about the things. And of course, Roy's been doing it for a long time. He has a good judgment of what's going on, so maybe he had a better view than I did, you know. Standing back from the thing generally, you might get a better view if the guy's really hurt or if he isn't, you know. Of course, I thought he was hurt, but naturally, you know, I thought I was hitting him pretty hard there.
It was a devastating knockout, Bob. I'd like you to describe it to us because it was a one-punch sensational knockout.
Well, he's leaving. He's got kind of a long neck, but he's real strong down, and so he was kind of moving out of the way. I could tell he was really pretty tired, and he was trying to get away from me, and it was moving to my right, which just kind of leads into the thing. I think it's more that he was coming in, and I was coming in, and just got caught him, that's all.
Is that one of the best rights you've ever thrown, or did you also happen to catch him when he was pretty well wasted?
No, I caught him when he was tired over here, only his body weight wasn't going into the punch either. A lot of times that'll do it. If the body weight's going into the punch, and you hit him at the same time that body weight's going into the punch, and rarely will the guy get up again, you know, but they have, you know, so.
Okay, Bob, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Great fight.
Thank you again. Thank you.
All right, then. We'll take a break now. We'll be back right after you see this.